ChatGPT will now become your profit and business strategist. What is the guaranteed ROI on these white label stores? Okay, if I invest X amount, how much can I expect to make back? Thinking that you're going to get to 6 and 7 figures with having only $500 to invest in ads is like thinking that you're going to spend money on a lottery ticket and hit the jackpot that same year. Do this first before you get into any launch, any store. Just do this because it's going to give you the reality of profits in e-commerce, right? Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I want to talk about something very, very important that I'm noticing in the e-commerce landscape. Okay. And I'm also going to give away a free AI employee as a result of what I'm noticing. Okay. Now, I have made my premier program white label dropshipping application only. That means previously you could just come in and purchase it. Now we're really vetting who we let in, because what we're doing is we're just really focusing on the quality of what we do. And if you don't know about white label dropshipping, that's where we create replica stores of existing 6 and 7 figure stores. And we allow you to put that inside of your Shopify or ShopFunnels account, launch it as your own brand. Okay. Now, because the program's been so successful, we've had so many people come in, actually build and launch their stores. And they do that with our help, because not only do we create the store, we create the ads for them as well. In the applications, I noticed something crazy, okay? And this is something that every beginner goes through, but having noticed so many people go through this issue was troubling for me. And this is what basically led me to create this AI employee that will give you a clear path to profit, okay? So let me first explain the problem to you. When you come to this page, you have to apply to be accepted, and you have to tell us why you want a white label store, what your goals are, how much you have to be able to actually launch the store. And we basically will go through all that information to see if you're a right fit for the program. But the entries, when we made it application only, we got a ton of entries, right? And the entries that I'm getting are crazy. So we ask you straight up, like, how much budget do you have to launch it, right? And there are people that are selecting the $500 option. Like, I only have $500 to launch, which is perfectly fine. Back in the day, I had only $500 to launch. So I know what that feels like, okay? But then when we ask them why you want a white label store, not just one, but a lot of people are like, yeah, I want to get to 7 figures this year. And do you see the disconnect? Right now, having an ambitious goal like that, I will never fault you for having a huge ambitious goal, like building a 6-figure store or 7-figure store. But thinking that you're going to get to 6 and 7 figures with having only $500 to invest in ads is like thinking that you're going to spend money on a lottery ticket and hit the jackpot that same year. The odds of both of that happening are pretty much the same. And another common question that we're getting through this application process is, okay, what is the guaranteed ROI on these white label stores? Okay, if I invest X amount, how much can I expect to make back? Okay, so I have created this AI profit strategist for both those individuals. And the people that don't have money, that want to hit that 6 and 7 figure goal, but they aren't being realistic about it. That's number one. So if you're somebody watching this video who only has $500 to invest in ads, this is specifically for you, because I want you to take advantage of this AI employee and use it to plan your path to profit. That's number one. And number two is this is for somebody who has more money. If you have 10K to invest, 50K to invest, 100K to invest, firstly, talk to us, because we'll help you invest that properly in building an e-commerce brand that's replicated or based off or modeled behind an existing 6 and 7 figure store. But more importantly, it answers the question, Ali, what is my expected return on investment? If I invest this much, how much am I likely to make back? Because that question is a loaded question. Okay, that question, when somebody asks it, they're waiting in their mind to go like, okay, if I invest 10, I'm going to make $1 million. Or I'm going to make an X amount, whatever that amount is, okay? but they're thinking emotionally. They're not thinking rationally or logically. And that's okay, because not having any business experience is fine, right? You've been able to make your money with whatever job you're doing or whatever skill set you have. But most people that are in business, when they ask that question, they ask other questions on the back of it. But people that just come in and just ask that question without any backup questions are not thinking clearly. So this will help you think accurately about ROAS, and you should all do this exercise regardless of what you're doing. Do this first before you get into any launch, any store. Just do this, because it's going to give you the reality of profits in e-commerce, all right? So first thing, click the link down below. Get the ShopFunnels AI Profit Strategist for free. Download the PDF and then click here. When you click here, you're going to be taken to a link, which is going to be your AI employee. You go here, you copy and paste this prompt in, okay? And then basically all my AI employees work on ChatGPT. So you open this up, and as you guys can see, this prompt is pretty long. It's 5 pages long, okay? You copy that prompt in and you paste it inside ChatGPT. So I'm just going to open up a new ChatGPT window. It's on a different screen. Okay, this is an absolutely brand new ChatGPT window. And then you go ahead and you paste the 5-page prompt in here and you hit enter. Okay, when you hit enter, what ends up happening is ChatGPT will now become your ROAS, profit, and business strategist. Okay, it's going to help you explain, and it's going to help you understand what ROAS means. Okay, and that's what's extremely important. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside white label dropshipping, which is my premier program, and I'm going to pick one of the products that I plan on launching. But before I plan on launching that, I want to get a good understanding of what ROAS means. Okay, so let me open up the store that I plan on launching. Let me open up the research that you also get as part of white label, and we're going to walk it through the ROAS calculator so we have a good understanding of what the profits are going to look like. And whoever you are, you're going to get the right answer to how much can I expect to make off of this business. All right, so I plan on launching this business, which is a acupressure magnetic ring that helps women with weight loss, menopause, bloating, and a bunch of other problems. Okay, this is actually the this is the 5th most successful store that I am currently tracking. Okay, doing about $760,000 a month in revenue. Okay, and if we go to their Facebook ads, and if we look at the business in general, if I click anything here, right, as you guys can see, we have modeled this store pretty closely. Okay, we modeled the store pretty closely. All right, and so this is the business that we plan on launching. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first take this business through the ROAS calculator so that you have a good understanding how much you can expect to make. Okay, and I'm going to also open up the research. So with every white label store, you also get all of the research that is on the back of it. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this. So what product are you selling so I can build your personalized ROAS calculator? Okay, so the product that we're selling is the Kami ring, which is a natural, I'm just going to change it to our brand name, all right, which is the Sering ring right here. Okay, and I'm going to give it some more context, right? So what it does is the world's fast smart ring for menopause balance. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put this in, right? And it uses acupressure and magnotherapy. Okay, we want to give our ROAS calculator some context. Okay, and again, we have all the research in here anyways. Okay, so now this is the AI employee understands it, right? It basically knows that it's going to build a forecast for this, right? It's going to ask us a few questions. So what's our selling price? Well, our selling price is $39.99 per ring, right? So I'm just going to answer that. And then the second question is, what's your cost per unit? So I'm going to go to my supplier here on AliExpress. I'm going to find out the cost per unit. The cost per unit for this particular product is $0.99 and it's free shipping. So it's $0.99. Any shipping costs, no shipping, as I'm drop shipping from AliExpress. Okay, what's your average order value? And if you don't know, should I just assume it equals the selling price? I'm just going to say, assume it equals the selling price, okay? And then finally, do you know what your current or planned ad budget is? I'm going to say $500 for ads. Okay, do you plan on reinvesting profits? If so, what percentage? Now, this is a very important question, okay? And this is important. Like, are you someone, if you have $500, do you need to take profits out every month? Or can you basically, whatever profit you make, can you put it back in the business so that business's growth keeps fueling? Okay, now for me, I would say, yes, I want to reinvest. And, I don't mind reinvesting 80% of the profits back so that I can continue to grow this business more and more and more. I want to in 80% of the profits back, okay, to fuel the growth, okay? And so now I've given this information. Okay, now it's basically understood everything that it needs to, okay? All right, so now it needs to understand more about what this particular product is. So it's asked us a few key questions that we have to answer so that this AI employee gets the full picture, right? So is it a physical or a digital product? We're gonna go, this is a physical product, right? This is a physical product. Who is our target customer, right? So I'm gonna just go to my research and it says over here, women 40 to 60, right? You should have done your own research for your own product, right? Then, are you selling domestically or internationally? I'm selling domestically. I'm selling internationally using the dropshipping method. I'm selling to audiences in the USA. Okay, and what's your main goal right now? Validation, scaling, or brand building? I want to start with validation and then eventually scale and then build a brand. Okay, now it has all the information about what the product is, but now that it knows what the product is, it needs to understand our numbers, right? So number one, what's our selling price in the USD? Now, what's important, guys, is when you feed it back the information, sometimes you kind of have to give it like what it is. So the selling price for my particular product is $39.99 per ring. And then what's your cost per unit? So the cost per unit is $1, right? This is what it cost me to drop ship it from AliExpress, and there's free shipping. No shipping cost. It's free. What's your average order value, right? So if you're basically bundling up, selling, if you know your average order value, place this in. If you don't, just assume it equals selling price for now, okay? And if this ever changes, you can rerun this with the new average order value and it will give you all the information you need, okay? Then what's your current or planned ad budget? So my planned ad budget, I'm just gonna say current, my current ad budget, let's be conservative, right, is about $500, okay? Do you know the real ad metrics, right? Or assume beginner averages. I'm going to assume beginner averages for ad metrics, okay? So assume beginner averages for ad metrics, okay? And 7, it's going to ask me a very important question. Do you plan on reinvesting profits? And if yes, what percentage roughly? Now, this is a very important question because it's going to affect your forecast. Are you starting a business and do you need the money every month, right? There are some people that their whole goal in starting a business is that extra income that comes, and then they keep taking a percentage of profits out, okay? Whereas some people, they want to build a business and they don't mind reinvesting profits again and again to fuel the growth, okay? So what strategy are you going to adopt? For me, I would obviously say reinvest the profit. Specifically, if your ad budget is so low, reinvest it and grow the business. So I plan on reinvesting profits at 80%. So I would basically reinvest 80% back, maybe keep 20% for myself. Okay, I think that's fair. And let's put these metrics in, okay? Now it gives it everything it needs to generate, okay? And it's going to basically go ahead and give us an entire roadmap for how we're going to get to 1K, then 5K, then 10K, then 100K, and then 7 figures. And this is going to be a realistic roadmap with realistic scaling stages and reinvestment logic built in. It's going to give us a whole business roadmap with milestones, okay? So now, even if you're somebody who has only $500 but has a 7-figure dream, this is the realistic way to get there. And if you're somebody who has more money, 10K, 20K, 50K, still, this is the way to get there, okay? With ad metrics, with reinvestment, with average order value, with ROAS, with all these key metrics we need to understand to be able to scale the business. So would you like me to go ahead and generate the full report? We're going to say yes. And now this is what we are here with, right? Okay, so you're selling a physical product, wellness product, targeting women age 40 to 60. Your business is in the validation stage, right? Dropshipping internationally with a 500 ad budget, planning on reinvesting 80% of the profits to scale. Okay, so this is our selling price. This is our COGS, $1. Our gross margin is 97%, and break-even ROAS is at about 1.03. Which is really, really good, which means we only need 0.03 extra to be able to break even on just the cost of goods. So this isn't true ROAS because it hasn't built in all the additional costs, right, of running the business. But currently, you don't have any additional costs except for ad spend and product if you're at a $500 level, okay? So break-even ROAS is 1.03, okay? And now it's going to give us the profit percentage and the profit margin at each stage of the business, okay? And it's going to give us some key insights on what we need to do. So now let's say you're like, okay, Ali, I want to continue to be profitable, okay? So let's assume you're at 1K revenue target, okay? You're probably going to spend $970, make at a 1.03 ROAS, you're going to get $30 in profit, which is a 3%. Okay, you're validating. Okay, you're validating. You may not be profitable at this stage, but that's fine. Okay, now between 1K to 5K, right? Now you've got some data. Now you have the ability to increase your ROAS. Now you have more, you have more essentially marketing knowledge. You have the ability to produce better ads, right? And let's assume you get your ROAS to 1.43. Look at the profit jump from 3% to 30%. Now you're making $1,500, okay? So let's say you make 5K, now you're at $1,500. Okay, let's say you're able to increase your ROAS a little bit more by only 0.02 at 10K with an estimated ad spend of 6.2, you're at 3,700, right? You're able to increase it a little bit more, right? At 100K, you're at a 55K ad spend at 44,000 gross profit. At $1 million, 1.9, 4.74. Now these ROAS are just estimates, okay? Estimates, okay? What this does, I'm not saying your ROAS is going to increase as you scale. No, it's more about what you want to shoot at, right? So this is basically giving you goals. If you want to make 3K in profit on this product, you have to shoot for a 1.x ROAS. That's what this tells us, okay? And this is where I want most of you guys to try and hit, okay? This is that sweet spot when life is still really good, business is running smoothly, because when you get at that 6-figure level, you're probably going to quit your job and go on this full time. It's going to become serious, right? But this level here, it's not serious. It pretty much runs on autopilot, and you have money coming in the bank every single day. So take this mid-level as what you want to shoot at, okay? So basically from the get-go, you're trying to get 1.6 ROAS, okay? That's what this should be for you. This should be a goal for you that, okay, if let's say you start and you get a 2x ROAS, you're going to be amazing. Right at the start, you're going to be profitable. And as you scale, your ROAS might decrease more and more, and then you get to 1.6. But as long as you're at 1.6, you're fine, because if you get to that 10K level, you're going to be pocketing about 3K in gross, okay? So that's what that means. So your break-even ROAS sits about 1.3, means you make 1.3 sales for every $1 spent, you cover your costs, okay? At the 1 to 5K stage, you should be focused on validation, proving people will buy your ring, understanding ad hooks, and expect thin profits but valuable data. At 10 to 100, your system starts working. You'll identify best performing creatives, retargeting funnels, and should begin to build trust and social proof. At 1 million, it evolves into a movement. It's no longer just a ring. At this stage, you're doing all of these things to retain LTV, okay? So it's gonna tell us what we need to be focused on at every single milestone, okay? At the 0 to 1K, you're still just validating, okay? And now this is where it becomes real, okay? I wanna make this whole thing real for you, all right? So at 0 to 1K, focus on validation. At 1 to 5, focus on consistency. At 5 to 10, proof of concept. At 10 to 100, scale. At 100 to 1 is branding. And then this is what you're focusing on at each of these levels. And this is what the common pitfalls are that you're going to encounter at these levels. These are the profit levers, okay? Now, if you want to be more profitable at each of these levers, this is what you should be doing, right? This is the metrics you should focus on. Over here, try to go into that emotional transformation, right? Over here, try to increase your AOV. I'm just gonna make this so you can see this, okay? Over here, focus on that UGC. Over here, focus on the backend system. And these are the mindset shifts you need to go ahead and make at each level. Number one, you're not buying data, you're buying profits. Number two, you're really zoning in on the messaging. Number three, you're focusing on the system. Number four, you're focusing on data. Number five, you're building a brand. This is what starts happening when you reinvest the profits, okay? Let's say at 10, let's focus on that 10K level. At 10K, your marketing profit margin is 37. Your operations load is 35%. So you basically, if you reinvest 80% back, your net profit is 24% and your cash in hand is 4.8%. And this is because you've decided that you're going to reinvest 80% back. So your actual cash in hand profit at 10K is like $400. That's because you're reinvesting everything back. This will all change. Okay, this will all change if you decide not to, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. Okay, reinvesting 80% of the profits compounds growth exponentially, and if you keep this up for 6 to 9 months, you'll outpace everybody else. Okay, these are the benchmarks you need to focus on. Okay, early, mid, and scaling. Okay, and the final notes about your particular business. Okay, now what I want us to do is, what if I don't plan on reinvesting profits and I only give back about 20% for growth and keep the rest? Okay, that basically changes everything. Okay, now we move from aggressive compounding to cash flow control. Okay, now what happens? You keep 20% cash in hand. Okay, and at 10K, your take home cash is 2K. Okay, and that's awesome. Okay, that's about 20%. That's great. And this is what the reality of business is. Okay, and that's what I wanted to show to you guys. Like, a lot of you guys aren't focusing on, but that's every single month. Anything, I mean, you're taking home 2K, your systems are working, your customers are happy, right? That's awesome. And that 2K is like, when you can get e-com systems working, it's the most passive 2K ever. Okay, I have businesses that are working that take very little time from me and passively pay me money every single month. Okay, I love that. But that increases, when you get up there, when these numbers increase, 20K take home pay is not bad at all, right? And that's a business paying you. Okay, so you can even do a side-by-side comparison. And this is my best side-by-side comparison of what these two different strategies look at, okay? So this is what happens, right? If you reinvest 80% back, right, growth will double really fast, okay? Your cash on hand changes, right? If you're somebody who wants more cash on hand, don't reinvest back, take profits. If you don't care, reinvest back to this. But look at this, okay? If you reinvest 80% back, right, and you run the business properly, you can get to 100K revenue in 6 to 8 weeks, okay? But if you don't reinvest and you keep the profits, it'll take months, right? And these are different timelines, okay? Estimated take-home revenue at 100K is 5.7. Estimated take-home revenue at 100K is 22K. So it tells us everything, right? It tells us all the different scenarios, okay? So over here, the mindset of reinvesting and the strategic recommendation, which is it says in scenario A, 80% for the first 60 days to gain traction, okay? And then once you hit 2x ROAS, go to scenario B. So yes, now I wanna say with your strategic recommendation, if I put that into place, what does my business forecast look like? Okay, now what we're saying is we're going to basically reinvest 80% of the profits back for the first 60 days while we gain traction. And then after that, and once we get to the 2x ROAS, then we're going to go to scenario B where we're just giving 20%. Okay, that gives us very good validation and then profit capture. And this is what ends up happening, right? So the first month from 1 to 2, you invest 80% back. And this is what your expected ROAS is. And then 3 to 12, 20% back in this. And guys, these expected ROASs are easy to hit, okay? You need a good funnel, you need good ads, and you need a smart offer, okay? But any marketer will tell you that this is not tough, okay? So this whole e-com game is just about understanding your numbers, Okay. And then essentially, this is what your breakdown looks like. So let's say first month you're just spending $500. At 1.6, you make $800. At 1.6 ROAS, you're gonna make $800 back with a 37% margin, which is $30. Now you take that and you reinvest it back, right? And so that's 162, right? And then you try to increase it 44%, 60, reinvest it back. And this is what that cycle looks like, all right? And then by month 10 to 12, there's 6 to 10K per month cash on hand. I can't tell you how realistic this is, okay? And this is what real business is, okay? But if you didn't get anything from this video, if it became too complicated, just pay attention to this. This is the biggest and most important stat, this, okay? Whatever this gives you, if you can focus on the middle number right here is, okay, to get the 10K stage, I need 1.6 ROAS. And I'll keep $3,750. That is where I want most of you guys to get to. That is a business that's working on autopilot, that is producing revenue, and then it gives you the ability to either scale up or stay on this level, and you have an e-com business that's giving you money every single month, okay? And you're doing your full-time job, or this is an e-commerce business that's giving you money every month, giving you the confidence to go all in and quit your job. All right, so this is my gift to anybody who wants to understand real world numbers of what this looks like. And this isn't just something that I put together. This has come on the back of real life testing, something that I've actually gone through a few iterations of. When I was developing this AI employee, it didn't give me realistic shit in the start, which I was like, dude, no way. Like it was giving me like some crazy profit numbers. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, that's not e-com. Been in there for a while to understand that those profit numbers are unachievable, right? This is gross profit margin, remember. And so by realistically scaling this down, now you get an idea of what this looks like, okay? And so again, you're trying to hit this middle number, all right? Now, for those of you guys who are applying to the program and have these questions about ROAS, have these questions about what am I going to make? I want you guys to look at this information and make informed decisions about whatever program you're going to into or whatever product you're going to launch, okay? And you guys can understand if once you have that game plan, once you have just this number in your head, I need to get to 1.6 and I'm in the money. Right? It completely shifts the perspective. The perspective isn't anymore like, oh, dude, if I give you 10K, will you give me 100K back? No, it's okay. Can this business get to 1.6 ROAS? That's the question. And for most businesses, the answer is yes, because a 1.6 ROAS is highly achievable with three things: a good offer, a good funnel, and great ads. Okay, you can hit a 1.6. And that's it. That's all I have for you. So guys, hope you enjoyed this. Again, this is my gift to anybody. I know you guys, a lot of you guys have purchased my premium AI employees. So you know how much effort and time we put into this, but this is going to be absolutely free. There's going to be a link down below in the description as a gift to you. All right. For those of you guys who liked the way that we think through e-commerce and want to launch businesses that have the potential to go ahead and take you through all these different stages and want to work with us, and we have a clear mindset about how we look at e-commerce. Me and my team, we don't look at e-commerce as a cash grab. We don't look at e-commerce as, oh, you're gonna make 7 figures in X amount of months. No, it's more about developing assets, developing a website, developing ads, working with you and upgrading you as a marketer, with our goal being, with our discussions revolving around, Ali, my ROAS to get me 3K in my pocket is 1.6. We need to get to that ROAS. And then we pull all the different levers to get to this ROAS. And we do that together. So again, click the link down below for white label dropshipping. Apply if you're interested in working with us. And that's going to be the first link. The second link is going to be the link to the free calculator. One more thing. This event might be sold out by the time I've announced it. But I want to make an announcement. We're doing a live event in Dubai. And tickets are now open to the general public. Okay, the price may be different to what you're seeing, but if you're able to come to Dubai on the 25th and the 26th, there's going to be a 2-day live event. Me and my team, we're going to be with you for, I calculate, about 8 hours a day. And our goal in this live event is to take you from zero to having a business ready to launch. And it's very strategically positioned. Black Friday is November 28th. This event is happening on the 25th and the 26th. The goal being on the 26th that your ads are live for Black Friday. And so if you're in Dubai, want to chill with me, want to meet me and the team, I'm going to include that link as a third link in the description so that you guys can come through and chill with us and basically bring your laptops, and it's game on. It's game freaking on. So bring your laptops. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing together. It's going to be a 2-day event. And if you're interested, if the tickets are still available. So I'm sorry if I'm plugging this and there aren't, but there may be. So I'm just throwing it out there. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Appreciate each and every one of you. Catch you guys next one. Peace.